Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by DocCity in partnership with University of Gastronomic Sciences of Pollenzo. My name is Alessandra. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and I will be moderating this event on behalf of DocCity today. So I see here that we already have some participants that have started to join us, so welcome everyone. We're just going to wait a few minutes before we start our session to make sure that everyone has a chance to connect and be ready for the presentation. So in the meantime, don't hesitate to say hi on our chat because we're curious to know where you're joining us from. So if you want, please take a moment to share your location. And in the meantime, I also want to thank everyone for joining us and also thank our panelists for being here with us today. And I want to introduce you all to Alessandra Costa, alumna of University of Gastronomic Sciences of Pollenzo and founder of Sfuso Buono, and Francesco Anastasi, recruiter at University of Gastronomic Sciences of Pollenzo. So together with them, we're going to discover more about the university and also explore the interplay between gastronomy and business in today's landscape. We'll discover how to carve your path and as a professional, guided by experts, and discover more about the business strategies in gastronomy. And we will do so by listening to Alessandra's experiences. So you will also have the opportunity to interact with our speakers and ask all of your questions live. So talking about that, I'd like to remind you that after the presentation, we will have a Q&A session where you will be able to ask all of your questions to our panelists. So don't be shy, you just have to type all of your questions in the Q&A box that you see here on Zoom, and we will go through them at the end of the webinar. Another little piece of information for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by DocCity for this free webinar. Stay tuned because we will be posting the link to get the certificate at the end of the Q&A session in the chat. So I can see here that some more people have joined us and are saying hi on our chat. Welcome to those who just joined. And I think that we are able to start now. I'm not taking any more time. So without further ado, I'm now leaving the floor to our panelists for their presentation. So Alessandra, Francesco, the floor is yours. See you in a bit. Thank you and enjoy.
Grazie, Alessandra. Thank you. Thank you, Alessandra, for introducing us to this webinar. Hi, everyone. My name is Francesco Anastasi. I'm an ex-student, a former student of the University of Gastronomic Science. And I'm a college recruiter at the university. And I'm very happy and pleased to have with us Alessandra Costa. She's an alumna. She is the founder of Sfuso Buono. There is a wine, she works in the wine industry. We will talk about that in a moment. So hi, Alessandra. First of all, how are you doing?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Francesco, and thanks, Alessandra. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak about my journey in University of Gastronomic Sciences in Pollenzo, and now my present as a founder of Sfuso Buono. Actually, just a quick presentation of who I am. I'm Alessandra, and I studied at the University of Gastronomic Sciences 5 years ago. I did the 2-year graduate degree in food innovation. And after this program, I started an internship in wine e-commerce. And then after 4 years there, I started my own project called Sfuso Buono, that it's a wine e-commerce 100% focus on craft wine in alternative packaging, so not in a classic glass bottle. Just a presentation.
Great, thank you, Alessandra. Yeah, so the idea of this webinar for everyone is not to talk about a lot about, of course, we're gonna answer the question and introduce a little bit the educational model of the University of Gastronomic Science, but at the same time the idea was to go a little over and ahead and understanding how the people, the graduate at the university, UNISC, we call it UNISC, University of Gastronomic Science, what they do, how they do it, and the impact of their work in the current and the future job positions and job profiles that are open all over the world. I'm gonna share my screen. I guess everyone. No, this is not the right one, of course. don't know why I don't have it. So, okay, no problem. So I wanted to share with you, should be this one. No, it's not working, by the way. No. Well, no, it's not a problem. We're gonna go without.
No. As we said before, we spend all the pandemic in Zoom and virtual meeting, but we have still some troubles to
when you need to do
proceed.
okay,
Yeah.
yes, I had. Okay, let's go. Should be right now, should be the right one. I think everyone could see. So this is the University of Gastronomic Science of Pollenzo. So this is a beautiful picture and in a beautiful moment of Pollenzo. So Pollenzo, before talking to Alessandra and with Alessandra, I'll just give you a little bit of what we do in order for you to understand a little bit of the next conversation that we're going to have. So Pollenzo is the first and only university in the world solely, completely dedicated to the gastronomic sciences. What are the gastronomic sciences? Well, basically it's food cultures and food studies. So the idea to study food at 360 degrees. So to look at food, not just from the scientific point of view, not just from the law point of view, not just from the nutritional point of view or the economic point of view, but looking at food 100%. So we believe in an holistic approach. So we believe in our interdisciplinary teaching. We do experiential learning and a lot of study trips all over the world because our educational model is based on the study trips, so that everyone can understand what they're doing during, after studying, looking with their eyes and understanding a little bit of that. So we are in Pollenzo. It's a small village in the wine area, and in the Langhe area. It's a wine area of Italy in Piedmont. It's more or less in the northeast of Italy, more or less an hour and 50 minutes from Milan. So very close from Milan and Turin. And all the student community, they live in a very nice city called Bra, where the Italian quality of eating and drinking is very, very high, and it's part of the experience that the students let's say do during this 1, 2, or 3 year experience. So Alessandra, I will put back our Pollenzo. We are both ex-students, and so we really have a connection with this picture. Alessandra, after university, so you did an internship, and now how, from the internship, why did you decide to go into the wine business? And what was the journey to get in that kind of business? The idea and the context that you get to get in that direction.
Actually, when I started the 2-year graduate degree in UNISG, I started with this passion for the wine world. When I started in 2016, I had a sommelier certificate on wine, but I decided to start this program to deep dive on the wine in a 360 degree, as you mentioned. And here in Pollenzo, it wasn't only the wine tasting part, as I studied during my sommelier classes, but it was all the world around, especially the storytelling behind the glass of wine, all the stories of the producers, especially the focus on the wine at UNISG. It's the organic and low intervention wines. So I had the possibility to connect, especially because we were in the middle of the Langhe with many producers of Piedmont. So after this program, I decided to starting my professional career in this wine business. I started as a content creator, so I actually I'm writing the fish, the technical sheets of the wines for the e-commerce, and then I finished my first job experience as a social media manager with a 100% focus on wine. So it was a passion at the very beginning, but then I quickly realized how to create something in a professional way from this passion.
Okay, great. Yes, since we are both ex-students and both we are friends, we as other the majority, I would say everyone is really in love, and Pollenzo is a second home for everyone, because the beautiful thing, one of the beauties of Pollenzo is arriving in a very small city like Prague, or a very small campus, because our university is one of the smallest university in the world, where we are around 500 people, all the student community, but it's about speaking the same language about food. And as you say, it's about with pillars like organic food, like biodiversity, high quality products, food systems, the complexity of food. So it's beautiful, because one of the things that we always say in our open days is, if you're gonna get into Pollenzo, if you wanna join Pollenzo, you're gonna enter the year a little bit confused. When you leave Pollenzo, there is a high chance that you will be more confused than when you entered, because the passions that you can, and the stimulus that you can develop during this, the different programs, there could be wines, there could be chocolate, there could be coffee, there could be cheese or beef or bread, or so many things. They're gonna get you involved and change so many part of your passions, and so many, and look at things in a different way. So I think for me, was the university of my life. This was a life experience, not just an academical, and educational model. In that sense, how much of the vision of Pollenzo is impact your job? You are already a few years in the market, so also talking to other colleagues and and other in the industry, how your vision still you have this feeling that your vision is quite different from the other ones.
No, I'm sure about it, and I'm sure about also the answer. When I started my project Sfuso Buono, it wasn't only about the wine, but it was first of all about the sustainability. And sustainability is something that I studied on field during my 2-year graduate degree in Pollenzo. Especially as a students, we understood that sustainability, it's not as simply a trend, but it's something that we need to trust and we need to focus on. And it's for that reason that we started this project about wine, craft wine, so sustainable wine made with the low intervention from small producers in a sustainable packaging. So we are trying to now overcome the bias related with the a non-traditional packaging for wine, but with a clear vision about sustainability. And this is for real something that in Pollenzo you will study and you will discover as something really important for your business and for our environment. So for sure, the sustainability, the organic, the selection, for example, it was easy for us to select. The easiest part of our project was to select and find the suppliers of the wines, because during my 2 years in Pollenzo, in the Langhe, it was easy to discover and to meet many producers there. and it was easy after the pandemic to convince them to trust in our project because of our of my previous journey in Pollenzo. So these two things I think are the best, the valuable topics of this university.
I totally agree with you. As you know, I am also in the coffee business, and it's incredible how I always say, to all the people that maybe come for an open day or they do a private tour in our university, that it doesn't matter what kind of program you do. There are a few pillars, like the ones that I said before, high quality products, biodiversity, food sustainability, food sovereignty. So there are a few pillars that you will get like in an osmosis way. So it doesn't matter what kind of shades, what kind of program of the gastronomic science are you doing, but there's the network, the passion, the community, and all the classes go in that direction. And this is what I think that I totally agree with you when I select the coffee also for my business. I remember how easy it's for me to understand the quality, to talk with producers, and I see in the eyes of the producers sparkling. Their eyes are sparkling because it's not easy to find people that they really understand also the side of the job. It's not always about making more money or doing more things, but it's also to understand. I always think it's one of the most valuable things that a student of Pollenzo has to have is to understand the context. So what are you doing? When you go and visit a producer, it's very important to understand their challenges, and when you're talking to your clients, it's also important to understand the innovation that you could do to help them, always with this background of sustainability, and really a real sustainability, not just greenwashing, as we always are listening, as we are listening so much in these days. I have
exactly, but also no, sorry, Francesco. Also, you talk about speaking with the producers, speaking with the clients, but in Pollenzo, I also understood how much is important to talk communicate the brand with the clients on social media, through the website, to create a storytelling that it's real and true, and people will trust in your project. So it's the way we are talking about our project and our business.
One of our friends from a very famous baker in Italy, he told me last week, we are not doing storytelling, we're doing story doing. So how important doing really to be organic, and the communication is very important, the shape is very important, but if you do the right thing, the communication will be as well behind you in the right direction. Before passing to the questions, and maybe to look, I'm seeing some question, and then Alessandra will help you to review the majority of the question to answer. How of course, one of the most important thing after you invest your time and your money. We are a private university, so it's a very important investment also. So how do you see the future in the food business? How can we impact more? What's the opportunities you're looking for? You're seeing in your daily scouting of meeting people and other colleagues?
No, I'm sure that the future it's plenty of possibility for gastronoms like us, because I'm sure that the food market, the wine market is changing. Even if Italy, for example, it's a very traditional country. I'm sure I'm studying for example, some numbers about the impact of the traditional packaging and so on. And I'm sure that the market is changing because the market takes care about the sustainability too.
People
So,
is changing, market is changing
yeah,
because people
exactly.
is changing.
So I'm sure that innovation is something that really is characterizing the food business now and in the future. I think that also the digital part it will be important too, and yeah, innovation and digitalization, it's a good combo, I think, for the future of food business.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And I know we know it because when you approach, people outside and you talk about how important for us is, the human relations behind the business, how important is, the packaging, the sustainability and the other things. And there are still so many people saying, but guys, but that's not business, that's not business. But then it's really switching, there's a swift of, in the market, because we are not doing just to follow the market, but also to follow some ideas and to really, because we really care. And I think this is one of the most important things that we have learned in Pollenzo, is really caring about these topics. And it's beautiful when I talk about we speak the same language. It's because, all the network of alumni of Pollenzo, we work each other, we collaborate, because we feel that, in a colleague, in a fellow, we have, this kind of feeling of say, oh, we speak the same language. I'm not speaking Arabic and you're speaking Mandarin. So we're speaking the same language about food sustainability, food culture, and so on. So Ale, first of all, thank you again for sharing your experience. I will ask to Alessandra if we want to go and review some questions. What do you think, Ale? I think it's we are in good timing to do also a Q&A,
Absolutely, yes. Actually, we still have time for people to send their questions, but we already have a few. So
okay, let's go with the first questions, and then maybe in every question we can add a few minutes more for go more in depth about the programs.
Absolutely. So the first question is from Fabrizio, actually, and he says, I'm intrigued by the concept of holistic education in gastronomy. Could you provide examples of how this approach differs from traditional education models and its impact on a student professional journey?
Great question, absolutely. I would say that, and it's it's the summary that Alessandra and I we were talking about. When we think at the university, we think to monothematic, so low psychology, language, and so on. But we are monotopic, so we study everything about food, and this gives you really. It's a really different model, because you really understand what is going on, in all the food chain, and so it really helps you to connect, all the piece of the puzzle. So I give, Alessandra is one of the example. She had this kind of passion in the wine. She understood how important, and she got in the network, because of the natural wine, organic, low intervention producers, because she understood how important the agriculture was also to have a high quality products. So connecting all those things with a hole in the market, it was the bag-in box, quality bag-in box product. So just having this vision gives you really you really understand where you can impact, and how it's different studying in Pollenzo. And a very important thing, of course, is the network that we do with the companies that we collaborate, and with the starships that we do. So when you go on a star trip, you really have the chance to meet producers, other university, big companies, and understand their experiences. And it's not a touristic thing. It's a private meeting that you have. So it's also very important to do some networking in that moment, So understanding that that man or that woman in front of you could be your next boss. So it's really, really important for us the study trip model for our university.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Francesco, for your answer. We actually have a question related to that. And the question is, does the university have a career service or job placement? And do you also offer internship opportunities?
Absolutely. We do have a career center. I think I can have a slide. Yeah, hold the programs. Maybe we can go later. So we have a career center. We have an office that provide a training during your program, and then one-to-one meeting. You can book a one-to-one meeting with the office, and they help students to find internship or to find job with a platform. So we have a website completely dedicated with job offers, completely dedicated to the students and alumni. So even if you graduated 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you can still look for a job, look for a new opportunity in our website. And for example, in the case of the program that Alessandra did, she made it's a master master of science. This year it's a master of science in food industry management. So there is a 4 months curricular internship provided, and also you can do internship with our career center, and also our postgraduate program. So 1 year postgraduate program, they have a 3 months of personal project or internship that you can do.
Sorry, related with this, I started my internship before the graduation. So I did the 4 months internship, and then I started to work there for 4 years. So it was my first and only job in my professional career. So, and it was really for me. The career center helps the single students to try to find the perfect internship. So, and now it's good because I can use for my business the career center too. If I need to find someone, it's helpful also for me on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what Alessandra is saying is 100% correct, in the sense that we don't have two students that have the same background, passion, talent. So every student, they need a different treatment, and they always one-to-one meeting, because the opportunities are so much, and it's very important also how the students approach the opportunity. So this is also a part of the tools that we provide. It's not we give you the content, but understand how approach a new a job position is very important.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much to both of you for your answers. And we actually have another question for Alessandra specifically, talking about, what was your evolution and how you started your own company. So the question is actually, how did you start your own company, and was it hard?
Yes, it was hard, of course, especially because in Italy it's really it's a trouble, all the bureaucratic part. That is something that you can't study in a university. So it was now my first time, and I needed to understand step by step what to do. But Pollenzo gave me the tools to start this project in terms of product, in terms of suppliers, but also in terms of business development, because in my 2-year graduate degree, I also had some hours about food economics, and it was very helpful to create a business plan at the very beginning. And yes, it was hard, but I had the tools to do it. All started after the pandemic, so It was the first idea came up in March, and the website launch was in October. So very quickly, we tried to do it very quickly, and we did it. So
Challenging,
I mean,
would say. I say
yeah.
in Italy it's a little bit challenging, but yes.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for your answer. So we have another question from Sebastian, and he says, how do you foresee the role of technology in shaping the future of gastronomy and its intersection with business? Are there any emerging trends?
Well, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I would say, as I told you, we are an holistic, we have this kind of holistic approach to the rational model. So if you guys are more, focused on the business trend side, for example, the Master of Science in Food Industry Management could be, the right shade for you, because, this is the right, place where we talk about, I know sometimes that the title scares someone, from our side, but it's we do also human ecology, sustainability, but we also do digital marketing, innovation, trends, and so on. And we are looking, for example, in our food lab, we are working a lot with fermentations. For example, there's a huge trend on fermentations, and also Alessandra knows how the big trend of no alcohol is revving up in some countries. So there is an incredible trend that is going on for years now about we pass from organic and craft products and quality, and how we put them, scale them to make it also more affordable. So there are a few trends there, and it's beautiful, that we have the chance to meet so many people, especially in the master programs. All the postgraduate programs, they have 70-80% of visiting professors from all over the world. So meeting so many people from so different cultures. For example, I'm thinking about the Master in World Food Studies. You have the chance to learn about international gastronomies and to do workshop, farm to table workshop about South Asian cuisine, to understand what is happening in Africa, what's the North American trends, to understand a little bit of food sovereignty and migration. So there is a little bit of food anthropology and food history. So this also helps us, and helps the students to, to outlook the trend that are going on, and to, thanks to the networking, and the experience of all the people around Pollenzo, that really helps a lot everyone in the community.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Francesco. Actually, you did answer also to another question that was asked by Dylan, because he says, how does the university prepares students to navigate cultural gastronomic diversity? So talking about the masters, we also have another question here, which is, what are the prerequisites to get admitted to the Master in Food Industry Management?
Sure. Let's do a small, we need to be very precise, because in Italian, master is a postgraduate program. In the other country, master is a 2-year graduate program. So for the Master of Science that we call laurea magistrale, unfortunately in Italy there is this thing. You need to have some prerequisites, academic prerequisites. In our website, you can go log in, and there are admission requirements and academic requirements, so you can see if your bachelor degree match with the one that we're looking for. All the programs that we do in Pollenzo, the majority, the 95% of the program are in English. We're an Italian university with a big international vocation. So for example, this program is in English. All the postgraduate programs are in English. The only program that is bilingual, so is the undergraduate program, where we have the first year in English, where the international students study Italian, and the Italian students, improve their English, and second and third year are in Italians. That's because we really believe that if you stay for years in Italy, it's very important that also you get the skills of Italian language. It's also a competence that you reuse if you work in gastronomy. So my suggestion is to look for the website, please, where you can, there is other missions in every single programs. I actually am the person in charge of also helping the students, when they have issues and problems with some questions. So I will for sure contact you if you have any questions. But in the section admission, you will get all the requirements.
Great, thank you so much, Francesco. So talking about the languages of the programs, there's also a question that says, do you require an Italian proficiency test, or do you, well, it says, or do you offer courses in English? But do you require an Italian proficiency test?
No. We, of course, for the people that go for the undergraduate program, we recommend to start, learning a little bit of Italian, also to enjoy better the life in Italy. But we do not require, a proficiency test for Italian people, for Italian for international students. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So moving on to the next question. One of the spectators asks, are there scholarships opportunities?
Yes, absolutely. So as I was saying, we are a private university, but we do provide scholarships for every program. We have different sets of scholarship. So again, for example, for the undergraduate program, we have four or five, I would say, I don't remember now it's like 5 or 6 full scholarship, depending, also the countries. And then we have partial scholarship for the master in food industry management. We have a full scholarship, 4 partial scholarship, and 3 just merit-based scholarship, partial merit-based scholarship. But again, for all the people that are interested, go on the website. There is fee and scholarship and financial aid. You can find all the information. And again, I will be also at disposal in the next week, in the following weeks, if you have any questions on that.
Great, thank you, Francesco. And Shirley asks, is there also accommodation available, and do you have a campus?
So as I can say, the campus is beautiful over here. We do not have accommodation. We do not have rooms for students because Pollenzo is a really small village. It was a very important historic Roman ancient area city, but now it's a small village. And all the student community lives in Bra. It's 5 kilometers from Pollenzo. There is a public transportation. We used to have, also student apartments, but Bra is really a little nice, cute city in Italy. It's not like Milan, Florence, Bologna, Rome, where there is a huge competition, high prices. So for the students was always very easy to find, a room or apartment. So we do not provide, this kind of things. Of course, we recommend people with some suggestion, and we put in contact with, if you are admitted, we put you in contact with other students, if you want to share an apartment and so on. Again, if you go on the website, there is an international student starting point. You can find all the information that you need if you're an international student.
Great, thank you so much. And next question is, what's the admission procedure like? Is there a test?
Well, it really depends by the program, but yes. So more than a test, we call it admission process. So, for example, I'll give you an example for the postgraduate program. You have to do upload a dossier with some documents, with a motivational letter, with your CV, and then will be evaluated from our convener, from our coordinator. But if you do the undergraduate program, there will be to upload your dossier with a motivational test and 2 questions, and there will be a final interview where it's much more to understand the passion, the talents, and the attitudes of students before coming to Pollenzo. But it's a very, very important interview in terms of score. So it's a 0, 0 to 100 score. So 50 points are just for the final interview. So you can find all the information in the website, but it's much more an admission process than as, you know, a simple test.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And now we have a broader question actually from one of the spectators that asks, can you take me through the programs that university offers and some of the courses you undertook during your studies?
Yeah, let's do very quickly. So actually this, you know, this list is very real. So they are not just topics, but part of the you know, of the topics and subjects that you touch during the undergraduate, but also, you know, the other programs. For example, you go from the anthropology of food anthropology to chemistry. So it's really important how your tongue reacts when it feels bitter, feels acid, feels sour, feels umami, and so on. Microbiology, there is food law, there is philosophy and aesthetic of food, there is sociology, and so on. We have, so the undergraduate degree, just one undergraduate degree in food science and cultures. Then we have, you know, the master in food industry management, and then we have 5 postgraduate programs. New food thinking is much more about philosophy, arts, and creativity. World food studies is much more about food anthropology, international gastronomy, slow food. Master in culinary arts for innovation. We are not a cooking school. So many people, you know, they're confused about the name. We are not a cooking school, but we do have just one program in the actually off, you know, in the desk and off in the kitchen, our food lab. And it's the one in culinary arts for innovation, where we do not teach culinary technique, but culinary processes like fermentation, like conserving, like temperature, and so on. Then we have master in food culture, communication, and marketing, so much more about communication and marketing of food. And then we have one in agroecology and food sovereignty, so it's the agriculture that's focused. We do also have an executive master in Italian, in cultura, in wine culture management, but just for Italian students.
Thank you so much, Francesco, for your answer. We have another question from Jesus, and he says the word of food engineering can be introduced into the University of Gastronomy. I suppose he wants to know if you have any courses that touch on the theme of food engineering within your institution.
At the moment, you know, all this holistic approach touch much more the food studies, so the humanistic part of food, less the engineeristic part of food. So at the moment, we do not provide the kind of programs. You know, in the part of food science, we are much more on microbiology, food chemistry, food processing, and so on, less the engineeristic part.
Okay, perfect. So moving on to the next question, we have Dana that says, do you think life there is really expensive, and do you offer some part-time jobs while studying?
So as I was saying, the life in Bra is not so expensive at all. Well, it really depends, you know, your culture. But if you compare to city like Milan, Rome, Florence, Bologna, you can share, you know, you can rent a room from 250 euros to 300 and something. So in Milan now we are going on prices like you have to pay 600, 700 euros for a bed, just for a bed in a shared room. So we are in a smaller city, so life is a little bit cheaper than than city, especially on these very important costs like rent and food and so on. So it really depends by your experience, but it's usually cheaper than other Italian cities.
Perfect, thank you.
And sorry, we do not offer as university part-time jobs, but there are a few realities in restaurants, bar, cafeterias in Brade. Still, they take students to do some part-time jobs.
Okay, thank you so much, Francesco. And last question is, how is your network with companies composed? And can you name a few?
Yes, absolutely. We do collaborate with more than 150 companies at the moment. We have like like a premium collaboration with 34 companies like Lavazza Coffee, Barilla, Coop Italy. Italy is one of the most important high quality food distributors in the world. And so many players like Ferrero, the one of Nutella, and other ones. And then we have a small company like Riso Acquarello on very high quality producers, or maybe cooperative of wine producers or food producers. They collaborate with us. They do meetings with our academics in the campus, and they are also part of some classes. So we really try to make them join our classes to also teach some real experience and not just academics to the students.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Francesco, because that was our last question. So again, before we say goodbye, I want to thank our panelists for sharing their experiences and as former students, and also for their insights on gastronomy and gastronomic business. And I also want to thank our participants for all of their questions and for being so active. So in the meantime, I would like to remind everyone interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by Docsity for the webinar that they can request it by clicking on the link that I'm just sending right now in the chat. And since we have a little bit of time, I would like to ask our panelists if they would like to leave our participants with one final message.
I don't know, Ale, but my final message is Pollenzo is not about who is better, at the school, who is not, who went in the high school with the highest score and the higher grades. It's about really passion, it's about talents, it's about really caring and really feeling the food and all the shades, as Alessandra was saying, we speak the same language in terms of sustainability. We really do care about this kind of topics. So if you feel that sometimes you feel alone talking about these topics, maybe Pollenzo could be your place.
For me, I'm sure that attending Pollenzo, it's not like start only as a university, but it's like starting a project of your life, and you will be in contact with your colleagues for the rest of your life in terms of business, in terms of professional life. I'm sure it's not only a university, but it's really something more.
Okay, thank you so much to both of you again, and also thanks to our participants for connecting with us today. So I just want to remind everyone that in the following days you will receive an email with a link to the recording of the webinar, and also all the relevant information and contact information to get in touch with the University of Gastronomic Sciences of Pollenzo. So thanks again to our speakers and everyone connected with us today. And I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by Docsity. So bye everyone, and have a nice rest of your day.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.